Hey everybody, and welcome to this final wrap up of your Start Your Own QS Consultancy micro course. So I want to wrap up by again how I started really, and thanking you for coming into this course and being curious enough to see what's involved at a high level to start your own QS consultancy. And I really do hope that you've got all the necessary nuggets. I've tried to construct it in a way that is not overwhelming, but gives you all of the top tips and in a sort of consecutive order of what you now need to go away and think about in order to execute to start. And I hope that I've also given you that fuel, that passion and drive for you to actually go away and do that for yourself, because you're doing it for you. You're doing it for your family, for your loved ones, so that you can have a better future, you can have more control over your future, and be in the driving seat for your own future. And really, the sky's the limit, particularly in our industry of QSing. It's in most countries, anyway, that I know of, it's still a scarce resource, it's in high demand. And if you get the formula right, in a consultancy, you'll be rewarded quite well, incredibly well in some situations. And I really wish you complete success in all of that. And I'm going to ask a small favor, really, from you. I know that you've given me your time and attention, and you've obviously committed financially because you paid for the course. But I'm just going to ask a very small favor of you, and that's I have a link for just a very, very small feedback form, because one of the ways I can help getting this module and this course, actually, not module, this whole course, more refined to my target audience of people that want to start their own QS consultancy, is to take feedback from you that have watched it. And I'm just asking for feedback on the good plus the bad, because that's how we learn and grow. Even me, 34 years into QSing, I do not know everything. I don't profess to know everything. I am always open to learning new things, and my mind is open always to that fact, and it has to be. I continue to invest in my own personal development quite significantly on a yearly basis, and I want that feedback from you, because it helps me to understand whether this course has met the objectives that I set for it, and that can only be measured by the feedback that I get from you. So it won't take you any more than 5 minutes, probably not even that, but I would really appreciate just that final touch from you. It's not compulsory. I'm not setting any rules in place that this will happen to you if you don't. Obviously, I would much prefer that you did. And then, if you don't mind, I will have just a little section where I might, reach out to you and just touch on a couple of points if I think that they are relevant. And then, the other one is that, if you feel that you've gotten some value, even though there might be some comments where you've given me feedback for things that can be improved, overall, if you felt that you have, got value and nuggets from this to the extent that you would be prepared to give me a testimonial to share with other people about the course and what it did for you and what outcome you got from it, how it has enabled or empowered you to take this information forward for you to start, or to at least start thinking more productively about your own QS consultancy, and then what measures you have taken to put that into place in real time. I would obviously really appreciate that as well, because it just helps other people to see that it can make a difference for them as well to watch this and be empowered in the same way. So with all that said, the final wrap up is also just a reminder that if you really feel empowered now after watching all of these modules, and feel that you do actually want to go forward, but you are still thinking that there's a lot to take on board, there's a lot to do by myself, then there is always the option for you to consider coming into the main program. Now, the main program, I've kind of mentioned it in a few of the modules. It really is start your own QS consultancy with my personal guidance. That's the difference between the overview course and start your own QS consultancy. You get a lot more in-depth training in the full program, the main program, but by far the differentiator is the amount of one-on-one support that you get from me. And you don't really have to think too much more about what to do other than things that are more localized in your market. So you would still be responsible for going away and getting advice on the formation of your legal entity and that type of thing, for example. But when it comes to your branding, your marketing, website, SEO, we take care of all of that. We take care of all of your SOPs. We take care of the majority, actually, of everything that you've seen in the overview of how to start your QS consultancy. And we do that between 6 to 12 months. It will max out at 12 because that's generally, most people that I've helped have achieved it by then. But my guarantee to you is twofold. That one, you will get an ROI from the investment, because it's not cheap, to be frank. But I don't look at it in terms of how much money you're going to spend. I look at it in terms of how much money you're going to generate from it. So that's your return on investment, and I'm guaranteeing that you at least get your ROI back. And that's like really, really, really conservative, but I guarantee that you'll get that ROI back. And then I'm also guaranteeing that if you don't get your consultancy up and running in 12 months, I'll continue to work with you until you do. Now, provided you take action on everything that I recommend, and you show up for all of the training, and you show up for all of the scheduled one-on-one calls, and you take my advice and you do exactly what I say, then you will get extended out from the 12 months to whatever it takes to get your QS consultancy operational to the parameters that we define in that first 12 months. Okay, so I always work individually with each and every person to set the goals in the first, as part of your onboarding. So within the first month, you will know what we're going to do. So we talk about your micro niche, we talk about your market, we talk about your target audience, how you're going to go, and I'll give you support in even getting your clients. I'll give you support in where to go and look for all of the things that we've touched upon. It is literally a hands-on approach. You have access to me within reason, at all times throughout that process, not on a 24/7 basis, obviously. That's why I say it's on a reasonable basis. And then we have defined one-on-one calls throughout that whole process, and other touch points as well. Now, if you're interested, come back to me after watching this micro course, and we can talk more in detail through a discovery call. I will not take anyone into the program just by responding by emails. I need to see you. I need to talk to you. I need to ask you questions that are pertinent as to whether it's going to work for you. Because it won't work for everyone. I won't provide those guarantees for people that I don't think it will work, and in that conversation I will be able to easily identify by the questions that I ask you whether you will be someone that we can help to get to the milestones that we're talking about. I've never had anyone yet that's failed, but I know by asking the questions that I ask whether someone will be in the right mindset or is teachable, coachable to get there. That's the most important aspect. So if you feel that that might be for you, then reach out to me and I will schedule that discovery call and we can explore further. If you don't, then absolutely, like, no problem whatsoever. I will not be bombarding you with 30 emails following up from your purchase of this course. I am making this just one-time offer in the final module. So if you don't get this far, then you're probably not a right fit for the QS consultancy anyway, because you haven't managed to finish the course. And that's a strong criteria, that you have to have that consistency. But if you're not interested and you just want to run with everything that you've learned in this course by yourself, look, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely, totally fine. That's why I put this course together, because I recognize not everyone wants the main program. And there is enough information in this course for you to run with it by yourselves, to execute your own learning curves. I strongly think that it will take you a lot longer to build your business on that basis, because you have to learn yourself everything that I've gone through and experience that I can teach you in way less time, because I've already done it and I've done it more than once. I can shortcut that learning curve for you, and that's essentially what you're paying for. You're paying to shorten the time for you to have a viable, profitable QS consultancy that is self-sustaining and operational. So, but absolutely fine, no problem. You will not get any pressure with me. I absolutely 100% appreciate you coming into the course and paying for the micro course and consuming the micro course. Absolutely, it's been a pleasure to teach you, and I really wish you well. If you want to look further at the master course, or the main program as I call it, then come back to me and we will schedule a discovery call and see if we can take that further. I offer payment plans. I'm not going to talk about the price now. We talk about that on the discovery call, and I will talk more fully about the payment options as well. But just to give you the heads up, if you're worried about one sort of lump of money, then I do have a payment plan that makes it as easy as possible for you to make it work for yourself. Okay, so with all that said, again, I just really, really, really appreciate you being part of this course, and it's been a pleasure to teach you from my perspective what I think you need to get your own QS consultancy up and running. And I really hope that you, even if you don't give me feedback, I really hope that you do come back to me at some point in the future and just let me know how the journey has been for you. If you don't come into the main program, I'd love to know the result. I'd love to know whether what I gave you helped you and gave you that catalyst to make it work for you. If I have, then that would be absolutely awesome, and I'd love to hear the success story as a result as well. Okay, so with all that said, again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate the trust that you've given me in teaching you this, and I will see you hopefully around sometime soon.